has been a causal factor of one Moses Wetangula. Good. Now today again, because one side knows we have no might in winning this particular debate, just like you essentially forecasted, again, it's going to be exactly what we saw the other day. But could you kindly sort of look into how Moses Wetangula is going to open the house business today? Because activists are threatening to sue him today if he doesn't make his position clear on the underlying issues that are bringing emotions in that national house. How is he going to go back and talk about who the majority and minority were when we started this august house and ruling on the issues of Sabina Chege and Kanini Chege essentially in that national house?
On the ruling, actually, my advice and my opinion, the ruling of Sabina Chege, let Azimio be given their fair deal. Let the speaker make that ruling. The opposition, the Azimio, to have their rightful whip. Actually, they've already nominated
somebody else.
Let him get over that issue. Let the Azimio, already they have the minority. They should not be suppressed to that far.
No, sir.
Back to the ruling of who is majority and who is minority. That one, it's already done. I don't think if it can be relooked at the moment. Also, remember, we are past 6 months. You remember?
No,
the Constitution gives, I think there is an act which gives you a right to cross after a certain period.
Yes, but they did cross before the period Nabiso. Yeah. That is what the activists are saying. The post-election agreement just came immediately after we got in the Augusta House. Yes.
You know, that ruling was made. And you remember, there is a standing order. You cannot debate the speaker's ruling.
Yes.
It's already made. And at that particular time,
yes,
even the same people who crossed over, there was a debate. They were saying, no, we are neither on that side. This marriage, we are not against it. It is violent. Actually, and I saw another member of parliament who jokingly said, we are taking you guys as mere to GBV. This marriage is not working. Yeah. You are forcing us. Yeah. They said, we have a freedom of association. We are UDM. We are not Azimio. Actually, the fact that we are associated with Azimio, but we are UDM. Yeah? Our right of association is this side. But on that now, to be fair enough, if there was a liberal speaker, actually, if the act allowed that the speaker who comes to the National Assembly have to be liberal, just get someone, vet him, get him through, he will have made a sober ruling on that one.
Yes, yes.
But now this is a speaker who has been fronted, who has been even, the president has said we are having this as the speaker. You remember when Kenneth Lusaka came to be the speaker? The president said in a PG, the speaker of the Senate is one Kenneth Lusaka. And it became. How can that speaker make a ruling against the party of the president?
Yeah.
Same to Mr. Wetangula. He was a senator, but the president saw it wise that let this guy be our speaker. Now, after being the speaker, they must have made the in-house agreement saying that the first task, ensure that we have the majority. So to run away from these issues of speaker making decisions that are not in line,
yes,
with what we think it's right,
yes,
actually that post would have been that we have a liberal person who comes from none of the party. Of course, I have a party, you have a party, yes, but someone who looks non-partisan.
Yes.
You look at the US, Nancy
Pelosi.
Mm-hmm. Actually, when the Democrats have a bill to pass, in a way, he's taken on board, but not as the Democrats actually it's grown, but at least he's voted by Democrats, and he also makes sure that in a way Democrats are gone. Like now in Kenya, in our country, the speaker is the link between the executive and the National Assembly. Most of the bills come when you saw the speaker saying, what did he say? we have the majority because he know they've had the PG,
Yes.
the members of parliament have told, pass this thing.
So Moses Wetangula has been on record outside the National House saying that this particular bill is going to go through.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's where he starts to get it wrong? I mean, yeah, Nabiswa, he's also been told, people have been asking him, why would you go outside and then come back and say, well, this particular bill is going to pass? How do you know?
No.
You're just a referee. How
Yeah.
do you know that it's going to go through?
He is a referee, but now being the speaker, he actually know that Kenya Kwanza has the majority.
Has the majority.
And he has seen,
Yeah.
actually, these people communicate behind scenes. They will only want to behave that they are neutral.
Yes.
But in real sense, we know they are not.
In his right mind, in his right mind. And then you heard me talk about the Moses Kuria case as well this morning, him going saying, well, any other person, an state official works with NMG is going to get fired. We don't know who that is. Maybe may want to fire Kashago because it was not really specific. Are these the mistakes that we are making now as yes, we do know you have the numbers, but you as the National House Speaker, when you speak outside to Kenyans, why would you take the same tone as the same tone that, number one, the likes of Osoro, the likes of Cheriot, the likes of Cleophas Malala are taking politicians? You're saying the same thing they're saying, that we are going to pass this. Then you as the National House Speaker, Brian Nabiso, you step outside and then you also say, we are going to pass this. It has to go through. Who are you? Who are you, Nabiswa? Are you not the National House Speaker? Can't you say we are going to debate on these issues? I am going to make sure that the minority side and the majority side in Parliament vote properly on this debate. In fact, he should have said, I'm not going to let them sleep until we're done with the National House business. So when he goes out and says, well, look here, we're going to pass this particular bill. Who are you, Moses Wetangula?
You know, the first thing, who is Moses Wetangula? The party leader. He's still the party leader of Ford Kenya as we speak.
Yes.
Where is Ford Kenya? His party is supporting this bill. Yeah? Supporting the bill. In the environment he was, in that environment he was, he had all the members of Ford Kenya were there, including the other side.
Yes.
The Western Azimio members of parliament were there in that function. So, where I said, where we get wrong is actually having a speaker from our political parties. Even as we said earlier, even the current Attorney General, when he was the speaker in the, was it 12th parliament, the last parliament, there are some decisions he made which looked so controversial. But he had no choice. Even himself, in his right mind, he know this bill is not okay. But what will he do? He will have to pass. Because if he doesn't do that, these guys gonna have a... They can go ahead of disciplining him by removing him.
Pretty much. Then we do have 5 minutes left for this conversation, Nabiso. Okay. So let's say that. Nabiso, you came in telling me, well, Zimba, it's done and dusted. Hakuna kitu hapo. All right, as we wait for those guys essentially to go live from the National House. Good. So what next for the minority side in Parliament? Because it looks as if when it comes to impeaching the speaker like they threatened, I do not think they have the majority to do that. When it comes to them walking out, they do not have the numbers. So whether they like it or not, still quorum in the National House will be there, just like we've seen it. I mean, that is 221 of them in the National House. That's already quorum, Nabiswa. So what then? And that's why we went to the street asking, do you support the return of the Mandamano? Because now Raila Amolo Odinga is saying, I've got a document that I'm going to give them, all right? But should they pass that one, we are going to the street. So what?
One, I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think if there will be substantive amendments. If there will be, it'll be one or two, but not on the main clauses.
Yes.
You know the main clauses are VAT, housing.
Yes.
Those are the main
Those
clauses.
are the main clauses.
And that PAYE increment,
That's it.
the 35%.
That's it.
I doubt if they are going to have a substantive amendment. Two, we might experience what we've experienced in the past. You know what has happened during the VAT bill? You know what happened during the security bill?
Yes.
It might recur in this house today. Secondly, what Kenyans are asking at the moment, you know, the life is hard. We cannot run away from it. It's a fact. The price of commodities are hard. We cannot run away from it. But my question is, was this, is there much difference between now, what is happening now, and what happened from June 2020
yes.
towards August, or from January 2020 towards August? Actually, even at that time, life was hard. You remember?
That's it.
What was the price of unga now and then? We were told during that time, I remember, like where I come from, shops totally stopped selling unga. You know why? The CS, then the CS Agriculture told us they have given the subsidy. Unga is going at 100 shillings. You go to the shop, you'll find the guy has unga still at 240 or 230. You'll ask, where is unga? He will tell you, even me, where I've gotten this, I've not seen that one. Actually, people stopped buying. Then for a period of 2 months, people could not sell unga because someone will come and ask, why are you selling unga to that when the government has told us it's to that? It was not there. After that, we started hearing a scandal, the millers were not paid. Now, right now, we are being told there is no money. Government has no money. The same government which is telling us they do not have money, what are they doing? You hear trips, there is double in trips, hiring, having an expanded executive without any caution. You know, even at this point, Kenyans will say, no, these guys they're not being sincere with us.
Yes.
The government, what they would have done in the first place, they would have saved on the wage bill. At this moment, the CSS was not necessary. Okay, they were necessary, but that number was not necessary.
Was it?
If actually it was to appease those people who supported, they would have at least taken a few.
Was it?
Now, you are telling us there is no money, you are spending recklessly, you are hiring recklessly, there is scandal, we are hearing about NHIF, money being lost when there is no medicine. We are hearing CSS, the same people in the government running for deals, fighting over houses. When Kenyans are suffering.
Yes.
That's not a priority. But again, does going to demonstration a solution? We've seen the last 1 month, demonstration were there. What happened? Apart from now saying we are forming a bipartisan committee, nothing happened. Did the prices of unga go down? No. In fact, it went up. As demonstrations were going, things were going. Those people who are going for demonstrations, they are young people like me, who depends on a daily wage. I'm taking my time, I'm saying in solidarity of this thing, let me go. At the end of the day, I'll come back, nothing. So, what I think, the government should actually embrace the dialogue and stop overspending.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, what better way then to come to the end of this particular conversation? Because again, we're going to go live shortly, by the way. Just like Nabis was saying, he's already told you what to expect. Ishaeda. For those people saying, well, there's going to be a showdown as the media are talking about. He's saying the numbers are going to win the day. But then he's asking, to what end? Up to when?